こんにちは、ハリケーンフットボールです。今回の教材は、リーズユナイテッドの田中碧に関する動画です。今回は、以前の動画の続きですが、Imagine Not Being Leedsのチャンネルから、田中碧の現状や移籍などについて話している動画です。今回は、特に田中碧の今シーズンの出場時間を振り返りながら、チェルシー戦やリバプール戦の活躍も、その後の出場時間にも反映されておらず、明らかに不公平だという話をしています。実際にどのように話しているのか、チェックしてみましょう。
Let's have a little look at that. Anyway, I've got it on another slide here. Let's have a little look at some bits on Tanaka before we get back into comments. So you're looking, obviously, 19 games this season. So he's played the bulk of the Premier League games, but only 719 minutes. So less than 10 games in terms of minutes. He's got 2 goals, no assists. Obviously, he got the goal away at Derby in the FA Cup. So 3 goals in 800 minutes for a midfielder isn't too bad, really. When he's playing that midfield 3, I think that's pretty good return for someone that, you know, is coming off the bench most weeks. Obviously, started against Everton, first game of the season, played full 90. Arsenal got pulled off, obviously, and then he had an injury, didn't come on against Fulham, he missed a couple there. And then, like you see there, 7 minutes against Wolves, 3 minutes against Bournemouth, 23 against Tottenham, 9 against Burnley. You know, 9 minutes against Burnley is criminal, by the way. You know, that was a game where we looked shite. And we were all, you know, screaming at the TV, Farke, or at the ground, wherever you were, screaming, make some change, freshen it up. Tanaka got 9 minutes in that game. West Ham, 72. So he had a decent little stint here. He didn't come off the bench for Forest. 90 minutes. But when you look down here, when you get to recent games here, you know, you've got your Chelsea and Liverpool, 67. He only played 25 against Liverpool. 90 against City. A nice little chunk, you know, played really well against City as well. Chelsea, brilliant performance. And then after that, then, you know, since Brentford, it's been naff all, really. That Liverpool, he got the equaliser in the Ellen Road fixture to draw for the all. Liverpool away, when I actually thought Liverpool were there for taking, and we were unlucky, not unlucky, but we could have got 3 points there. But I settled for 0-0, great performance. 1 minute, 10 minutes against Scum, 1 minute against Newcastle, 9 against Fulham. Like that there for TANAKA, that's brutal. That is brutal amount of minutes for a player of his caliber for me. So I don't know how you feel about that, but again, I'm not massively down about it because we're getting wins. And I think if we were, you know, if we'd have lost to Liverpool, if we'd have lost to Man United, if we'd have drawn against Fulham, I think you'd look at those 4 games there and go, why is Tanaka not playing? Because it stand out that he ain't playing, and the results, you know, when you're looking at the games thinking we should be getting results here and there. If Tanaka's not playing, I think Farke's getting a lot more pelters than he is. And when you look at this is a big thing with Tanaka. When you look at him now, obviously he's 27, he's 28 this year. They've got him valued at 10 million euros, which I think is worth more than 8 million quid. Obviously, he can sort of play anywhere in that central space. He played 43 games for us last season, scoring 5 and assisting 2. Not bad numbers, you know, not bad numbers at all for us. 7 G&A and 43. The season before, we didn't really have any midfielders scoring. So it was nice to see midfielders get on score sheet last season. 3,300 minutes. So one of the first names on team sheet in Championship. I thought it was brilliant. But you look here at his Bundesliga time, Bundesliga 2 time, should I say. So his main seasons here, the 3 big seasons, 29 games, 1 goal, 1 assist. That's not great numbers there for a side that in Bundesliga 2, they're quite a good side. Dusseldorf, they usually finish about 5th, 6th. The second season, 22 games, only 1 goal, 1 assist. And the season before we signed him, 30 games, 7 goals, 4 assists. So 11 G&A in 30. So a goal or an assist, like just under every 3 games. So really good numbers there for his last season. Then he moves to Championship, does something similar, but with a hell of a lot more game time, getting used to the English physicality. And I'm wondering if Premier League-wise, we know the physicality steps up. We know it's a lot tougher. In Farke's mind, does he just think he's not up to the physical challenge? Because for me, we speak about physical players, and, you know, I've had people message me since I did the Troy Paddock video, which I don't think we signed Troy Paddock, but say we can't have Troy Paddock. It's got to be another big man. Well, it doesn't have to be another big man. Yeah, but he ain't physical enough. Well, Buonanotte is not physical enough. But not every player has to be a physical specimen. Not every player has to be. They have to be look at Brendan Aronson. He's not physically imposing. He gets knocked off a ball. 100% effort, quality on the ball, and quality within your attributes and your strengths. If you can elevate the team and the squad by what you bring to the table, that's all that matters. We've got enough physicality in as central midfielders outside TANAKA. We've got enough physicality in DCL and in the centre halves. We've got a lot of physicality in that side. I don't look at TANAKA and think he's too lightweight for the Prem. I've heard some say he is. But that part of his game doesn't bother me. But maybe it bothers Daniel Farke. But what are the reasons for, him playing in Bundesliga 2 for 3 seasons and not being picked up? And then coming to England when he's 25 to the Championship again. So out of his, European football he's played 3 years at Championship German level, a year at English Championship level, and half a season at Prem, but he's not getting it. It's like he's got there and he ain't fancied. But this is not new for Farke. This is new for Farke. Farke doesn't fancy a lot of players. I wonder if he fancies his own wife at this point. It's one of them, and that's no slight on Farke because he's getting results, and that is the main thing. So he's going to get no shit from me in terms of personnel choices until he's making the wrong decisions. And currently, it's just a preference of a fan. I like him. Why is he not playing? And he's devaluating. I mean, they've got him at 10 million euros, which I think is way low. But say he stays till the end of the season, which he will do. How much, if he does move on, then how much are we getting for a player that hasn't played much football if this continues? And I would suggest it will, because I'm not seeing much evidence to state he's gonna force his way into the side. I think unless we sign a striker and adopt that 3-5-2 with 3 central midfielders, I do see TANAKA having this sort of season now where it just phases out as a season. He's just a bit part player coming on off the bench to try and impact a game, or fresh legs in the last 10 minutes. And I think he's better than that. But again, bit of a discussion, debate and all that. Let me know what you guys think. I take TANAKA at Arsenal, Arteta out, Joey Barton in free England. Cheers for Alfie. Too much being read into this, I think. Hey up, Chris. We're in a position at the moment where we can rotate. Don't get what all the panic is about. I'm not panicking, Chris. I thought it was a nice little topic to speak about, to be fair. We've seen it with Farke before. It doesn't massively change things. TANAKA's not a starting player as it stands, but I want to see everyone's opinion. Do you think he should be in the side? Where would you fit him in? And do you think he's got a future at Leeds United? I understand you've got to have bench options. I think he's a great bench option. If you can keep TANAKA happy and he can stay at Leeds for the next 2-3 years as a bench option, I'll take that. I don't think it's right for him. I think he should be playing football, but I'll take that because we need those kind of impact plays off the bench. As long as Leeds do well, then it's all good. Exactly. I'll score goals to get us points as well. Yeah, he has. He has, game. Yeah, Gavin, I've seen that. That'll do us, won't it? That'll do us. Get him to Spurs and weaken West Ham as much as we can. I would say that. Hey up, Dilly, buddy, just joined to see you are chatting about TANAKA. Do you think Farke has something against TANAKA? I don't think he does, if I'm honest. I don't think there's any sort of vendetta against TANAKA. I really don't. I just think he prefers other players. I genuinely do. I think if everybody's fit and they play a midfield 3, I still think he's 4th in the pecking order, maybe 5th, I think Farke really likes Longstaff. I really do. And he's a big fan of Gruev. And I think the longer he plays Gruev ahead of TANAKA, it's going to annoy certain people. But as long as the results there, it doesn't matter. But I don't think it's not against him. I know he's come out and publicly criticised at times as Farke, TANAKA's performances in the past, which he's done with Perry this time. He's done with certain players. And I know at times TANAKA struggled with the intensity. And he spoke about the mentality and being a little bit stressed about, the pressures of playing for Leeds in the Championship, try to get promotion, and they were relieved when they got there. And I really like his honesty with that. I don't know if that makes Farke think he's a little bit fragile, maybe, and he's got to keep him out of the firing line in big moments. I'm not too sure, but I do think he's a Premier League player in my eyes.
次は解説です。今回もボキャブラリーや表現はあまり難しいものはなかったですが、日常会話でも口語的な表現として使えるものもいくつかありましたので、本日の解説をチェックしてみましょ
う。West Ham 72, so he had a decent little stint here.
スティントは一定期間の在籍活動を表す名詞です。サッカーではクラブやリーグで過ごした期間を指して使われます。ローンスティントのように期限付き移籍とも 相性がいい単語です。短めの期間を指すことが多いですが、必ずしも超短期とは限りません。キャリア全体ではなく、区切られた一生という感覚で、日本語では、在籍期間、プレイした期間と訳すと、自然です。短期間と入れるかどうかは文脈次第です。
West Ham 72, he had a decent little stint here. West Ham 72, he had a decent little stint here. A nice little chunk.
チャンクは大きな塊という意味の単語です。日常会話ではまとまった量、かなりの部分というニュアンスでよく使われます。サッカーでは、a chunk of the season で、シーズンのかなりの期間と言えます。時間や割合をざっくり言いたいときに便利です。スモールパートよりも大きめを強調できます。形としての塊にも、抽象的な部分にも使えます。日本語ではかなりの部分、大部分、ある程度まとまった時間が自然です。覚えると実況や解説の理解が楽になります。
A nice little chunk about self-fulfilling little great performance.
settle for は、妥協して何かで我慢するという意味の定番表現です。本当はもっと上を望んでいたという気持ちが含まれるのがポイントです。では settle for は draw のように、引き分けで良しとするとよく言います。出場時間の話なら、settle for 10 minutes で10分でもいいから受け入れるという意味になります。似た表現の accept は、単に受け入れるで、settle for の方が、本心は不満のニュアンスが出ます。日本語では妥協する、何かで手を打つ、何かで我慢するが自然です。ネガティブにも現実的にも使える便利なフレーズです。会話で品質なので、必ず押さえておくと役に立ちます。
About self-fulfilling great performance. About self-fulfilling great performance. And I think Farke's getting a lot more pelters than he is.
ペルタは、イギリス英語のかなり口語的な表現です。サッカーでは、試合内容がとても悪かった時に使われます。悪いよりも感情が強く、散々に近いです。評価としては主観的で、解説というよりファン目線の言い方です。彼はひどい出来だったや、激しい非難を表す時に使われます。日本語では、散々な出来、黒い内容、ボロボロだったがあります。フォーマルな場では避け、ファン配信や雑談向きの言葉です。
I think Farke's getting a lot more pelters than he is. I think Farke's getting a lot more pelters than he is. He's not physically imposing. He gets knocked off a ball.
インポージンは、威圧感のある、圧倒的な存在感があるという意味の形容詞です。サッカーでは主に体格やフィジカル、守備での存在感を表すときに使われます。単に大きいというより、相手にプレッシャーを与える大きさ雰囲気がポイントです。センターバックやボランチ、ストライカーに対してよく使われます。グッドやストロンよりも、視覚的心理的な影響を強調します。日本語では威圧感のある、存在感のある、圧倒的なが自然です。見た目とプレーの両方を含んだ褒め言葉で、ポジティブな評価として使われることが多い表現です。
He's not physically imposing. He gets knocked off a ball. He's not physically imposing. He gets knocked off a ball. So I don't think there's any sort of vendetta against TANAKA.
ヴェンデッタは遺恨、復讐、支援を表す名詞です。単なる不満ではなく、個人的に根に持っている感じが強い言葉です。サッカーでは、監督の起用方法が不自然な時に、支援なのではと皮肉で使われます。アペースノル・ヴェンデッタは、個人的な恨みという意味になります。ただし強い単語なので、軽く使うと攻撃的に聞こえることもあります。日本語では支援、遺恨、因縁が合います。言い過ぎを避けたい場合は、個人的な感情くらいに和らげてでも自然です。議論の熱量を表すときに聞くワードです。
So I don't think there's any sort of vendetta against TANAKA. So I don't think there's any sort of vendetta against TANAKA.
いかがでしたか？田中碧の今シーズンの出場時間などを改めて振り返っていましたが、出場時間が全くないわけではないものの、活躍からすると明らかに少なすぎるし、活躍した試合の後も、その後の出場時間が増えていないどころか、減っているような現状について、田中碧に大きな同情をしているように感じます。今後2年3年と残留してベンチ要員でいてくれるならいいけど、と話しつつ、そんなバカなことはないとも分かっている、という感じでした。実力に見合ったベンチでの役割と出場時間ならわかるけど、それ以上の実力があるのが明らかすぎるということでしょうし、だからこそ、移籍する可能性が高く、少なくとも夏にはいなくなるだろうと感じているからこそ、売るならいくらで売るべきかという話をしているのでしょう。ファルカが田中碧に対して、特別な個人的な感情があるわけではなく、単に、選手の特性やタイプとして、他の選手の方が好きなのだろうというファンは多い気がしますが、ただの好き嫌いの話でないと、 田中碧をこれほど出さない理由が見つからないといった風にも聞こえます。ファルケの奥さんのことさえ好きなのかわからなくなるほど、なぜ田中碧をそこまで好きにならないのかは、誰にとっても不思議に感じるのだと思いますが、この傾向は当分は変わりそうにはないので、また次の試合も、おそらくベンチから途中出場する田中碧を期待して楽しみにしたいと思います。本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。またすぐにお会いしましょう。